Seeking other Mandalorians to help him reunite the child with his own kind, the Mandalorian approaches criminal Gor Koresh, who supposedly knows their whereabouts. At a ring fight, Koresh and his henchmen attempt to kill the Mandalorian and steal his best car armor, but the attempt fails. The Mandalorian captures and interrogates Koresh, who reveals that he has heard of another Mandalorian operating on Tatooine. The Mandalorian leaves Koresh to be devoured by a swarm of predatory animals and departs for Tatooine. Upon returning to Tatooine, the Mandalorian and the child are reunited with mechanic Heli Moto. Moto provides the Mandalorian the location Koresh had given to him, a town called Mos Pelgo, which is not seen on any modern maps. The Mandalorian arrives in Mos Pelgo on a swoop bike and is directed to the town's marshal, who is clad in a set of Mandalorian armor. Realizing that the marshal is not a Mandalorian, after he casually removes the helmet, the Mandalorian demands the armor from him. The standoff is interrupted by an earthquake, which is revealed to be a giant great dragon, that has been terrorizing Mos Pelgo. The marshal agrees to return the armor in exchange for the Mandalorian helping him to rid the town of the dragon. The marshal explains that he is Cobb Vanth, a lifelong resident of Tatooine who survived an attack from the mining collective on Mos Pelgo after the destruction of the second Death Star. He escaped unknowingly with a box of crystals, which he traded to his Jawa rescuers in exchange for the Mandalorian armor, before using the armor to drive off the invaders and protect the townspeople. En route to the Dragon's Cave, the two encounter some Tusken raiders who are also hunting the dragon. With the Mandalorian acting as an interpreter, the Tuskens propose an alliance to take down the dragon, much to Vanth's chagrin, due to fending off repeating raids from the Sand People. Realizing they would need additional forces, the Mandalorian volunteers the townsfolk to help. Despite the animosity between the groups, the Mandalorian and the Vanth convince both sides to work together. The joint forces attempt to lure the Krayt Dragon out of his cave and kill it with planted explosives under its belly, which is its only known weak spot. The plan goes awry when the dragon breaks free of the harpoons restraining it and is left unfazed by the planted explosives. Easily fending off blaster fire and harpoons, the dragon repeatedly burrows to different spots around the area and spews acidic bile at the group, inflicting heavy casualties. Using himself as bait, the Mandalorian provokes the dragon to swallowing him and a bantha that was loaded with explosives. The Mandalorian then electrocutes the dragon into spitting him out and detonates the explosives inside the dragon's stomach, successfully killing it. The Sand People begin butchering the beast's remains, discovering a valuable Krayt Dragon pearl in the process. A grateful Vanth returns the armor to the Mandalorian, and the two part ways as friends. Meanwhile, a heavily scarred Jango Fett clone watches the Mandalorian and the child from afar. Now, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. A very good way to opening up the new season 2. And this episode is Chapter 9, The Marshal. And I really liked seeing the Mandalorian again, especially the cute little guy, the child. We also got to see some new faces, namely Timothy Oliphant as Cobb Vanth, and I remember, Timothy Oliphant from a number of his films, and one of my favorite films of his is Hitman, which is an underrated underrated video game into a movie type of entry. A lot of people, there's people that liked it, but a lot of people were saying that it was just another failure, but it wasn't. I think it was great. I think that it really flew under the radar and nobody really watched it, and I really enjoyed that. And immediately I recognized him, and then I said, maybe it's Josh Duhamel, but then I noticed it more and more, and I said, yeah, it's got to be Timothy Oliphant. It was, and great seeing him, and I liked his character very much. Usually they introduce these new characters and they could be annoying as anything, but he wasn't. He was actually pretty good and worked really well with the Mandalorian. in that challenge that they had to kill the Great Dragon. Also, John Leguizamo provided the voice of the mob boss. What is that? The boss or the or Korish. And I love that scene because the Mandalorian. He thought they got the Mandalorian covered. All of them had a blaster on them, and then he just shoots off those what do you call those things? Those missile things from his wrist. Took them all out, and then fed for Korish to those predatory animals. When he shoots the light, the Mandalorian does, it turns off, and all of a sudden you see all these red eyes, and you hear Korish screaming for his life. And that's what he got. That's what he gets, and I'm glad that happened to him. Now, Amy Sedaris, she plays Peli Motto. She returns, and I love her character, and also her interaction with the kid, the child, or Baby Yoda, whatever you want to call him. But mostly, we all call him as we pretty much call him the child now. It's been put out there so much, even though there's people that affectionately want to refer to him as Baby Yoda. But you see the affection between the two. She says that if he ever breaks off or however she said that, it produces offspring, she wants to pay for those offspring, because she apparently wants a little, baby Yoda or a little child for herself. But the one thing that I really, and a lot of people talking about all over social media is the appearance of Temuera Morrison, who played Jango Fett in Episode 2 of Star Wars: Attack of the Clones. The son, of course, the father, I would say, of Boba Fett. And a lot of people are saying that this is Boba Fett. He's, of course, a scarred up clone of Jango Fett, and easily could be there because he's watching them from afar, right? The Mandalorian and the child. He could easily be someone who's paid a handsome, bit of money, bit of coin, a ransom, if you will, to collect those guys. Bring the, the child in, because I think there's still a thing on it, right? A price on the child, and I'm sure a bounty on the head of the Mandalorian. But we're just gonna see what happens with that and how it unfolds as the episodes go by, the chapters go by. In this season, it's like season 2 of The Mandalorian. But like I said, I enjoyed it. Great way to open it up, and a great way to end it, to let us all kind of be, anxious and be very, very excited for the next episode, just to see what is that all about. That clone, that Jango Fett clone. What is his story? What's that all about? But anyway, that's my video for Mandalorian. Almost right. The Mandalorian Season 2, Chapter 9, entitled The Marshal. Like I said, very good episode. And for those of you who stopped by and checked out my video, I appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.